The Minnesota Timberwolves just blew out the Suns in Game 1 by 25 points, and while the play of Anthony Edwards was for sure a big part of Minnesota's success, I also think Rudy Gobert had just as much of an impact on this game. Now obviously, Rudy Gobert's bread and butter is going to be his ability to protect the basket, and that was on full display last night, where Minnesota pulled the Suns' field goal percentage at the rim down to 42%. Phoenix throughout this game couldn't get anything easy at the rim. Every single shot was heavily swarmed and contested by Minnesota's length, but to go along with the Timberwolves' size, they're also extremely mobile, and that goes for Gobert too. You'll see him here extend up, waiting for Bradley Beal to get this handoff. But from this spot, Beal is going to dart into a backdoor cut, and as he catches this bounce pass, Gobert is going to scramble down and alter his finish. Now on this play, we'll again see Gobert extend up, expecting Phoenix to run some kind of two-man game, but now Durant's going to cut back door, and Rudy's again able to sniff it out and take away this layup. And that size and movability also makes Gobert one of, if not the best drop defender in the NBA, where Gobert has great positional awareness of both keeping himself in front of the ball and defending the pass back to the roller. Watch him here first slide across to take away Durant's straight line drive. Then he's going to quickly backpedal to put himself in perfect position to also defend the roller, and he's able to get KD to pick up his dribble and force this tough lob pass, which gives Minnesota more time to rotate back down into the paint. And Gobert also has the foot speed to step up towards the ball, where his height and length takes away any direct scoring or passing options. On this play, you'll see him defending this Devin Booker ball screen, and notice how Gobert has the size to take away Booker's pull-up with both feet below the three-point line, and notice how he also has his right foot up, which causes him to rotate his stance and take away any pass to the weak side of the floor, and he forces Booker to pick up his dribble, which turns his whole play into a wash. Now with this drop coverage, Gobert at times will give the ball handler enough space to rise up for an in-between pull-up, and Phoenix for sure does have really talented scorers who can make these looks, but these are still tough shots for any offense to stomach, and it's going to be really difficult to win a 7-game series by taking and making these tough contested twos in high volume. And that's the superpower of Rudy Gobert. His presence on the court by itself pretty much eliminates all easy shots at the rim. And when you combine Gobert's paint presence along with Minnesota's aggressive perimeter defenders, you have a defense that's designed to funnel the offense into tough mid-range pull-ups. You'll see Minnesota here switch this ball screen, but notice how the Timberwolves are picking up well beyond the three, and the clear purpose of this is to run Beal off the three-point line. And as Beal attacks towards the middle, he's got the Twin Towers sitting in the paint waiting for him, which forces Beal into a step-back jumper. I also thought Gobert throughout this game defended really well in isolation. Obviously when you're guarding Durant and Booker in open space, there's pretty much no way to completely shut them down. There's just too much skill and tough shot making. But I do think Rudy did a good job of moving his feet and keeping the ball in front, to then force them to score from over the top. You'll see Durant here drop down into this right-hand drive, and Gobert's able to slide with them, to then extend up and get a great contest on the shot. And then again on Durant, watch how Gobert is able to time his crossover and poke the ball free, which then leads to an Anthony Edwards dunk.
It's showtime, room service.
I also thought this play was really impressive, where Rudy is now defending Beal in open space, and Brad's going to get to one of his go-to moves, where he gets the defense to open up their hips by attacking hard to his right, to then slam the brakes and snatch the ball back for his jumper. But as Beal attacks and pulls it back, notice how Gobert has the stability to stay on balance and take away Beal's pull-up. So overall, Gobert has the physical tools and defensive IQ to be a really impactful defender both on and off the ball. But going forward, what adjustments will the Suns make going into the rest of the series? Now the first easy thing Phoenix can do is play with pace. If the Suns are pushing the ball and playing in transition, that's obviously not going to allow Minnesota to get settled into their defense. And I thought throughout this game, Phoenix got some of their best looks in transition. And going forward, they should look to push the ball every chance they get. On this play, you'll see Durant pushing the ball after a miss, and notice how Gobert is trailing behind the play, while the Suns also have two shooters filling a lane on both sides of the floor, which gives Durant all the space he needs to work against Cat one-on-one. And then in the half court, the Suns have to find ways to pull Gobert out of the paint. And one way they can do this is to target him in pick and roll. I thought Beal had a couple of nice plays where he was able to pull Rudy out of the deep paint and set up easy shots at the rim for Nurkic. Watch him here turn the corner off his screen and lift up into his jumper, which pulls Gobert out and leaves the paint wide open for an easy catch and finish. Phoenix also found some success with the screen-rescreen action, where the big first sets a screen on the ball handler's man, then he also screens the big defending back and drop, which allows the ball handler to knife through for a layup. I also thought Booker throughout this game missed some good looks in pick and roll, and if Booker can hit a few of these one-dribble pull-ups off the screen, that's going to force Gobert to step up to the level of the pick, which again leaves the paint wide open. Another way the Suns can pull Gobert out is to use Nurkic as a passing hub. You'll see him here catch at the top of the key, while Phoenix is also running this off-ball screening action. And notice how Nurkic with the ball here pulls Gobert up to the free throw line, which leaves the paint wide open for the cutting Bradley Beal. And the final thing I think the Suns can do is simply let KD cook. For a majority of this game, the Timberwolves were letting Durant play one-on-one, and with both Booker and Beal on the floor, I thought KD had some really favorable matchups.
Two-time Finals MVP raises up.
To start the game, Minnesota had Towns guarding him, who I think has no business guarding KD on an island. And Phoenix here is just going to clear out the entire right side of the floor, where Durant can size up Towns and get to this in-rhythm jumper. And if I'm Phoenix, I'll live with Durant playing in isolation, but there were a few plays where I thought they made things a little bit too complicated. Like on this play, Durant again has Towns guarding him, and from this spot, I would again clear out the floor and give him space to work. But instead, Nurkic comes across and sets the screen, which pulls Durant towards the middle of the floor where help is. And then of course going forward, Booker also has to play better.
Booker with a quick three at the other end.
So overall, I think the Phoenix Suns are going to have their hands full in this series. The Timberwolves right now seem like the bigger and more deep team. I think in order for the Suns to crack this Minnesota defense, it's all going to come down to their pace and spacing. I think Phoenix definitely has the talent and firepower to advance, but they're definitely going to have to make some adjustments going forward. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments who you have winning this series. The Kids here.